Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome
Hi.
to Beauty Buzz with Stephanie and friends. And welcome to my friend Kelsie. And Kelsie and I have known each other for many years, but haven't known each other well.
Wow.
So we just started having conversation about an event that we're putting together in the area and just talking about, director stuff. And I'm like, Kelsie, oh my gosh, you have stuff to share. Like you have stories. And here's why I do this. I want to share right at the beginning, one of the things that I really want to come across when I do these Beauty Buzz with Stephanie. This is season 1, by the way, episode 3. If anybody wants to binge watch my 3 episodes.
You're going to have to start putting like a little banner. Season 1, episode 3.
You might have to drink caffeine while you watch them if you're going to binge watch them, because that's a lie. Anyways, it's all right. But this is what I always say at the beginning. It's so important that we hear people's stories. And I think, I'm just speaking for women here because I work with women, 32 years working with women in this Mary Kay business, loving it. But I think we can learn so much if we just stop and listen and ask questions. One of the things I look for when I'm looking at women to empower and equip and lift up into leadership is I look for their listening skills. And if they don't have them, but they want more out of a Mary Kay business, or any business for that matter, anybody that I talk to about business, is I always try to teach them something that Mary Kay taught me, and that's ask questions. Nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. Mm-hmm. And how do you make somebody feel like they're cared for? Ask about them. Put them in the center. Take yourself out of the center. And we live in a very self-centered world right now where everything tends to kind of circle around ourselves. And we were just talking about it before we got on, but I just am so excited for you guys to hear from Kelsie. She has so much to offer and has such great just love and joy and authenticity and sincerity, and even just our little conversations over a app. I'm just like, I love this girl. So thank you for just being who you are and being your real self.
Thank you. And you too. That's something I told you that at career conference, it was the simplest thing. I couldn't even repeat what you said or what you did, but I caught it.
Thank you.
Just how you introduced people. And I was like, wow.
And I learned that in Mary Kay because I was not that girl before. I always talk about the edges, how we have these edges that we come into our business, and there gets kind of sanded off little by little in a safe environment, right? It's a safe place for us to just let our edges be sanded off by the people that love us and care about us.
Yeah. Well, don't you think? I think we put those up to stay safe. Like we keep the cage around us to stay safe, so people don't know we're not finished. We don't want them to know. And then here comes Mary Kay, and it's the safe place. Like, put the guard down.
Yeah, let the guard down and let the sanding and smoothing and refining begin. And I know it's not comfortable because I've done it a lot and I still do it. I think the older I get and the more I know, the more I realize I don't know.
Exactly.
I think I used to know so much more when I was in my 20s.
Yes. Oh, and when I was 15, I knew it all.
Oh, yeah. Well, you have that age group, and we're going to talk about that. Because here's the deal.
Absolutely.
Those of you that are out there watching, give us some love if you have teenagers. And I'm giving you the biggest hug right now and just telling you it's not forever. I promise it's not forever. My kids are 23. Is that right? 23 and 29. Almost 29. He's not quite 29. But, so it goes so fast. But I just want you to know it's not forever. It sometimes feels like it, depending on your experience with teens. So here's what I want to know. Here's my first question to you.
Okay.
Why? Here, you guys, this is the best question you can ask somebody. Why do you do what you do?
Well, so today I do what I do because I have teenagers. And
3 girls. By that
yeah, 3 teenage daughters, 3 of them. And they require full-time attention. I honestly now, in hindsight, so older self telling younger self, think they need more TLC now than they
You
did
need eyes
as,
on them for sure.
yes, preschool toddlers. It's different. Like they actually need help because they're just not capable of some things, like cooking, tying shoes, dressing, that kind of thing. But at this point, I feel like I need to hide in the bushes everywhere they go. Like, what are you doing? You know, so
Oh my gosh.
who are we talking to?
Terrifying at times.
Yes, yes. And so, yeah, I stay this course because I am a mom first, and I'd never thought I would be. I'm an only child. Never thought that would be my path. Like I never really even imagined myself with kids because I didn't have siblings, so I never really.
You didn't have an example.
Yeah. So, anyway, they are so much fun, but it is definitely supervision is required.
Yeah. And I always
need that flexibility. The
flexibility. Yeah. They need to know. They need to never. Let's see. Let me say it this way.
I can pop out of that bush anytime.
Anytime. That's right. They do not know my schedule, and it could change at any moment. They never know what time I'm actually coming home. All of those things. Right. I could be home in 10 minutes or 10 hours. They don't know.
True. I have no idea. Yep.
That's always best. That's like a great mom hack right there. I'm going to ask her that question later. I'm going to ask her a mom hack because I think it's important for moms to share with moms. If you're not a mom, there's a lot of wisdom in all of this too.
Yeah. I was like, I really hate that that's my definition of my life right now, but I love it too. I
absolutely.
It's full time for them right now.
It is. You're so smart.
It won't always be. So.
It won't always be. And you'll reap the benefits. I promise you will reap the benefits. Why did you start your Mary Kay business? Because it's really different, isn't it? And how many years ago was that?
Okay, so I've been in Mary Kay since January of 2002. Yes.
I can't do the math. You figure that out. Oh, that's easy. 20 years.
20 years. Yeah.
20 and a half years almost.
Yeah. So when I joined Mary Kay, it was that I actually wanted extra income because I had gone to college and did what everybody who graduates from college, they buy themselves a car, which doesn't mean I paid for a car. I financed a car. And then shortly after that, within about 6 or 8, maybe a year of that, I got married. And none of this I did have money for. And so I financed that as well. And I went, oh, I could use another job. Only I didn't want to, I already worked a 9 to 5 and I didn't want to have another job.
What did you used to do?
I worked for the insurance company where I met my husband.
Where you met your husband. Okay.
Yes. I was a claims person for car accidents. So, or like if it started anyway, the car claims. So if you had your stereo stolen or you got in a fender bender or whatever, then I would get the file and pay your bills, basically, whatever needed to happen.
Do you miss it?
No. No, not really. No.
I just was curious.
Yeah, no. So anyway, and I worked for you guys, great company. That wasn't the issue. It was just that I needed more income and I was a salary employee. So I couldn't work extra or anything like that. So Mary Kay came along at a time where I either needed to save money on the product, which was my secret. Like worst case, I'm going to save money. I'm going to be able to buy it at cost. But maybe I'll make some and I can pay the student loan or
that's exactly why I started.
Student loan, a car payment, and a wedding. Just bam, bam, bam. And I was like, this adulting.
This is big.
Expensive. Yeah. So anyway, that's why I started.
Yeah. So when you've already answered the just fits, like
it does.
Because at this season of your life, this business just fits. But think about like when you first started, you were married. Were you just married or hadn't got married yet?
No, we got married actually September. It was the week of the terrorist attack, September 14th of 2001.
Oh yeah.
So that was another thing I was kind of looking at was I don't want to be in a flaming tower when my wife goes down. Like I really like to keep my chickens close. Like I want to be home. And
we all had a lot.
It did change how I felt about being in corporate America. That I don't know why, because I was here in Washington. It just did.
It caused all of us to think different. That caused all of us to think different. It was that season of time in Mary Kay because I had been in Mary Kay for not a decade yet. But a decade. I'd been in Mary Kay a decade by that time. And I remember that season of time for us, we grew like crazy as a company because women were doing exactly what you just did. I want to have choices. Like I can see that life can change in an instant.
Yeah.
I mean, it really did change perspective, and we grew like crazy as a company and gave women an alternative, which is awesome. Yeah. So, okay. So one of the things I love to ask my guests is to share their favorite product or hack or tutorial or do something. And so I asked Kelsie to do that. So do you want to share maybe your first two?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so my first one, because it's driving me crazy, I'm going to share a lip color.
Because you don't have any lip color on.
I didn't put any, I mean, I have lip liner on. And so that actually might be a good hack to share is our lip liner is waterproof. So I always not only line my lips, but I fill them in. So I started with, this is medium nude lip liner. And the reason why is as your lip color wears off, you're still going to have some. So you won't feel like you have no lips at all. Because mine end up, I look all one color. So one of my favorite brand new things of the moment is, and I should say limited edition, you guys. These are going away fairly soon. But our Beauty That Counts promotion, these are the cutest heart-shaped lipsticks. I don't know if that, oh, there it is.
Yeah. They're adorable.
Heart-shaped lipstick. It is the cutest thing, and it works like a ballpoint pen. You click it, and it makes it go up. So I love these. The story behind them is when you purchase these, part of the proceeds from these go to our Mary Kay Charitable Foundation. And if you don't know about that, then you've got to call your beauty consultant and be like, why have you never talked about this? But it helps support women who are starting out. We have a grant program going to women's shelters in every single state in the union gets at least 2 grants. State of Washington, where I am, we get 4 this state. So it goes by population. Anyway, so that's big. And then they also do a research grant for cancers affecting women. So it's huge, you guys, huge. Like I want to say $9 million or something.
It's a huge, I think it's more than
money.
that.
It's big money. It's not this cute little, here's our $5,000. It's huge, global. Yeah. And so anyway, right now, if you purchase one of these, they're $18. Part of the proceeds go back to our Mary Kay Charitable Foundation. And they come in 2 colors. We have this, I always cannot see it because I'm also over 40.
That interesting age.
Courageous Pink is this bright pink. I love it. It almost looks red. It's actually a great red for anybody who shies away from red. Go with this Courageous Pink. It looks red, but it's not quite as bold. And then we have I think it's Natural Confidence. And this one is my favorite. It has like just the right amount of pink, and that little point, you can actually use that as lip liner. Little point on the bottom of the heart. So I'm putting this one on. And I'm not going to take time to line my lips because I talked about that way too long. And this is pretty. So it has just the right amount of pink.
It is, and it's great on brunettes. It's great with my color hair. It's great for your silver hairs or black. I mean, you can wear that with everything.
Everyday nude pink.
And you can do different lip liners under it or put a gloss over the top. Yeah, it's really great.
And they're kind of a matte finish, which I love. And then the second one I want to share right now too, is you guys, I love our Revealing Radiance facial peel. So this is a glycolic peel. And the reason why, I'm an odd person and I do not appreciate microdermabrasion. Like I know I'm weird. I know. I don't like the feeling of gritty sand on my face. Now, most people go, oh, I love that sandy feeling of getting the stuff off my face. But guys, my face still needs me to get that stuff off my face. So anyway, this was an awesome alternative to microdermabrasion. So this one, you put it on, leave it on for 10 minutes, and it's glycolic. It's a glycolic peel. It physically breaks the bond between the dead skin and the new skin. So you just rinse it off. And then you don't have, I always say it gets rid of the furry off of your face. I need to do it.
Yes. Your foundation gets caught. It's not as smooth.
Yeah, you look fuzzy. And this will get rid of that. So it works just like a microdermabrasion, but it's a chemical version instead of a physical version.
And it goes deeper.
Yes, it goes down 4 layers. And here's the coolest part. So secretly, I don't know if it's a secret, but one of my customers is a physician's assistant in a med spa. So she gives facials to people. She was like, she buys that from me. And I asked her one time and she goes, because I am a mom of 4 tiny toddlers. She has 4 kids under the age of 6. Crazy.
Oh my gosh.
And she still
Makes me
works.
twitch.
I know. And she says, I forget to take it off. So if I'm using the one from my med spa, that one doesn't just stop working. She goes, yours has a neutralizer in it to make it stop after 2 minutes. So you can't mess it up.
And you won't get that red peeling.
No downtime, no nothing. Right. So love this one. Love it.
Yeah. And the consistent use of it, it really does reveal the radiance.
Yes, because actually, I'm glad you said that because I forgot that part. When you get that dead layer of skin off, it makes all the other products that you're putting on work better because it can get in there. Your dead layer of skin is like a blanket on your face. It does a little bit of protecting, like especially this time of year with the sun, but it doesn't do anything else. So like your moisturizers, your serums and stuff, it can't absorb those. Yeah. And so it has those ingredients have a hard time doing their job with that dead layer. So this,
and if you want major age fighting, you got to get that off.
Yes. Yep.
Get that off.
Yeah.
So tell us in the comments if you've ever tried the peel. And if you haven't, put peel sample and tag your consultant.
Yes.
And she'll send you a sample of it. We have them, and I used to have one on my desk here, but they come in little foil packs. You've got to try it. And you'll get a couple applications out of it, out of that one little packet.
Yeah. Your face will feel like a baby, like immediately.
It seriously is. Like, I know, I don't keep track of exactly when I use that. My skin just tells me because I just know. Like I can tell like when I put my foundation or CC cream or whatever on. So yeah. Okay, so let's start grilling her with some good questions, you guys. So you have a couple decades in this business. And for those of you that are watching this and you are a businesswoman in other areas, it's all the same, you guys, as far as the things we need to learn as women. We have to learn we have to be self-aware enough to do the work in the areas that cause us to be the woman that we can see ourselves being to move to that next place. Yes. Doing isn't always the best, most important. Stewing is never the most important. Like that's not ever a thing. But doing and being, those two need to come together, right? Yes. So is there a fear or a limiting belief that you have had to overcome to move forward in your business?
I think probably at some point, I used to always think I was so busy. And what I learned about that, and so that was a limiting thing, like, oh, I can't move on to the next thing because I'm so busy. Because when I started, I was working full time. I actually, and I still do this, was teaching classes at the gym as well. And then added Mary Kay to the plate. So now where I'm at, 20 years later, I don't have that full-time job, but I still teach classes at the gym just because I'm weird and I like to work out. So
it
supports my Nike habit.
Yeah, and it makes you work out.
Yes, I never miss a workout because technically it's a job. Like I can't just not show up.
Counting on you.
Yeah, I can't just not go. So, anyways, that was a secret trick to get me to exercise for the rest of my life. So, anyway,
smart.
So, I thought I was so busy and I couldn't, move up or whatever. But then I realized one day I just sat up and I was like, every woman says that. Everyone does. You guys, we all have 24 hours. Right. And so it's how do you organize your hours? How do you do that? You have to want whatever you're doing or wherever you're going so bad that you're willing to rearrange or reprioritize. I always say Oprah has 24 hours too.
Yeah.
And look at her. Yeah. I'm certainly not where Oprah is. So
I want to be your friend when you are.
Yeah. I'll invite you over stuff.
Okay. Thank you. That'd be awesome. That'd be great. But it's really true, isn't it? And those things typally, those limiting beliefs are typically rooted in fear. Yes. There's some sort of fear. So we use those as excuses. Yeah. Say that again.
I was afraid to be busier. Yeah. Yeah.
It reveals stuff. Those limiting beliefs, they reveal areas in which we can. I'm a prayer. I'm a believer. So it's like, I'm like, Lord, tell me what it is, show me the way through this. Show me through this area that I'm resisting.
Yes.
And using an excuse for. So, all right, friend, what book are you reading right now?
That is so funny. I wasn't even looking. I printed out the questions and you're kind of doing them in order, but I didn't look, but I just touched the book. I'm reading.
How are you? I
Yes.
love it.
So have you read this yet?
I have.
It's really good. So this is Pass It On, What I Learned from Mary Kay Ash by Jennifer Cook. And Jennifer Cook was Mary Kay Ash's assistant for many years. And I get to go on a tour with her, Jennifer Cook, when I'm in Dallas.
Oh my gosh.
I paid money to go to lunch with her and on a little
delightful.
I can't wait.
That is going to be an amazing experience. She was a very young woman when she started working with.
She had to be because she's still, yeah. And
can you imagine just being around her and not just seeing what Mary Kay would say, but what she really did, who she really was.
Yes.
Wow.
So cool.
What a way to learn.
Yeah.
Okay. So share us your teen hack, your teen mom hack.
So we laugh about this, but for real, first of all, in my house, like if I had my way, there would be a space for the phone in the kitchen, right? Like we're done. It's this time we're leaving our phones in because that's what I do. I have an old school alarm clock, you guys. I know people are always like, how do you do that? I mean, my phone wakes me up, but I was like, my phone would wake me up constantly because every time it lights up, I have to stare at it. Yeah. Well, my kids are no different. They do the same thing, right? Like they're so attached. Yeah. So if I'm having issues with my children, and I just turn off their phone. I go into the app and I report their phone as lost.
I love that.
For real. That's what I do. And
so it just stops.
Yep. They are very upset with me over this, but that's what we do. That's one of the things. And then I got this from my mom too. Remember I said the thing about the bushes. So if I suspect that they are not where they said they're going to be, I don't use Life 360 or whatever. I just think my kids should tell me where they are and they should be where they are. But if I have a suspicion,
because there will be.
Yes, I will buy treats and show up where they're supposed to be because I'm surprising them with treats. You're welcome.
That's so good.
And so if you do follow them, like you can have their locations on or whatever on their phone.
I've done that.
So you can still show up with the treats and be like, I was bringing you and your friends treats. And you totally got caught. So
I noticed on location that here you are. So you're coming home with me. I'm going to leave the treats for your.
We had to do it once. We had to kind of do it once. And I sent my husband on the mission and he bobbled it a little bit.
I sent my sister. She's a teacher. I sent my sister. I'm like, you go because I think I might kill him. And so you should go.
Yeah.
So she went.
Supposed to be at school at something. I don't know if it was tennis practice or something, but we could tell we live really close to a Starbucks. We could tell she was at the Starbucks and not at the school. And I go, just pop into Starbucks and pretend you were going to get her a Frappuccino and surprise her at practice. And he was like, okay. And she turned around and he was there and he was like, oh, you need a ride home? I was like,
no, you're not supposed to help her.
He was like, I couldn't tell her that I was on her track. Like, I didn't want her to know. I was like, but you, anyway. So yeah.
He's got a sweetheart.
I know. I was like, I would have said, well, I was going to get you a Frappuccino, but not now. Get in the car. Let's go.
See, you're the bad cop. He's the good cop. Yeah. That's how it always was in my family too. Chuck was always too sweet. I mean, he was just soft. He's soft, but I love him for it because I could be a little jagged sometimes.
Yeah. It's really a good balance.
It is balance, and we each need to balance each
at my house because of him, because he's nice.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is funny, Kelsie. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna jump down to what is your next goal that you're stretching to?
Okay, two things. I want to be in the top 20 for sales directors this upcoming year for sales.
Personal sales. So there's two parts of our business. There's our sales part of our business, which Kelsie is like master at, and I'm going to ask you another question about that in a second. And then there's the part of our business is leadership. So it's taking what we know in our business that we also learned, and we apply that and train and equip and empower women to run their business at whatever capacity it is they want to run their business.
Yeah.
So when you have somebody like Kelsie and so if any of you are watching this, it's in Kelsie's unit, you guys, like, pick her brain, follow her around, do what she does because it's working, right? So, okay, so let me ask you this, because sometimes people say to me, I'm not a salesperson.
Right.
So when we say things like the queen of sales, to us, we get it.
Yeah.
So what does that mean to you?
So, when they're not a salesperson or when you're the queen?
When you're when you're not a salesperson,
So
when people
when
say
I will tell you that I consider myself, well, I mean, I guess I can't consider myself that anymore, but selling was not my strong suit. Even as a brand new sales director, I was not, that was a struggle to be a star consultant. It was like like I had run a marathon twice. Like it was, that was a very big stretch for me. And I always
But you still stretched for it. Like you didn't give up. It was like, I see this area, I want to strengthen it. So you went about doing that.
Yes. I just was like, I'm always a star. I'm always a star. I'm always a star. And that was from day one. I've always been a star. That's one of my cool claims to fame. When people ask about accolades, I'm like, I've been a star 100%. Never missed it.
Awesome.
So, and it's not, sometimes it wasn't pretty, but I did it. Right. So anyway, now we fast forward, all of a sudden I'm this like, I'm a who's who in Mary Kay. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? So I could not sell, you guys. I had the hardest time, but at my very first event in Mary Kay, I was at career conference. I joined in January. I went to career conference in March. I was in my red jacket. Everyone wanted to be on my team. And I know that that's because I was just excited.
Yeah.
And so because of that, at some point I got good at the selling. Everyone can do that. It's the product sells itself for real. And so as long as you care for people and match them up with the products, it's like dating, match them up with the products they need. They're going to stick with you because you care for them. You're listening and caring for what they need. So
like what we were talking about earlier is listen, and then meet the need. Mary Kay always taught us that. She used to always say, you guys, so this is, Mary Kay-isms, but, and she was a woman, she passed away in 2001, right? So think about the times. But she used to always say, people are tuned into WIIFM. So like the radio station, because some of you might not know what that means, like FM, but WIIFM radio station, what's in it for me? So if we're listening to our clients and to the people that we're put in front of, that are wanting our expertise, if we're listening to what is it that what's in it for them, what do they need, what is that hole that I can fill with my product? And so you share that, then they decide. Like they decide to be the client. I don't sell to people. I share with people, and they make. You guys are all grown adult women. Like you all make your own decision every day. When you go to the grocery store, you pull this off and that. So you go to Costco, you get the things, right? It's the same. It's just you get a little education with us, and you don't buy something you don't need. Like for reals, you don't. So what is that other product that you have there that you want to share? This is one of my new favorites.
I'm loving, you can't see it. My box is too white. C+ resveratrol line reducer, you guys. If you have not started using this, do yourself a favor and ask your beauty consultant about this, because this stuff's amazing. So here's why I love it. First of all, who doesn't want line reducer? Right there. You have me at line reducer. Yeah. And it's $38. It's not $4 million. It's $38. And it doesn't require needles or anything like that. But here's the coolest part. So it's called C+ resveratrol. Resveratrol is a grape extract. It's a plant extract, I guess I should say, but it's in grapes. It's in peanuts of all things.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So you've heard people say that dark chocolate and red wine are healthy.
Yeah.
It's resveratrol. So dark chocolate has the peanuts in it. It's when plants get damaged, they make resveratrol. That's what's happening. I have heard that. Resveratrol is a fixer. It's a fixing antioxidant thing. So, and then also this guy has in it. Okay, I had to practice this. I had to read up on it and study it. So don't judge. Acetyl hexapeptide 8 is in here. Okay, so you guys, that mimics Botox. Do I even need to say anything else? No, it makes your face look airbrushed within like a couple of times of using it. What it does topically inhibits some of the movement of these fine lines. And so it's not that I can't move my face. I can totally do all the things, but they don't move as much. And it's super subtle, but that's why it reduces the lines.
Okay, so I have to add to that, because this is what I learned from using this product. All of what you just said, I didn't know all of that. So thank you.
Oh,
my experience with this product, we had a supply chain issue with it. Some sort of ingredient that the Mary Kay couldn't get. So we had a supply chain issue. I ran out for myself because I'm like, I can't take the last one on my shelf. My client, you know
I
what I
do.
mean? I'm like, I'm not going to take it out of my clients. But I was like, please don't buy it. I mean, that's really bad. Like,
You're like, I don't want to tell anyone else about it, but it's back now. So
right. But what happened is I stopped using it for like however long that was, 3 weeks. And the lines across my lips, I still don't have it. It's not back. Like it's not back. I mean, we can't order it quite yet. So the lines across my lip have been coming back and I'm like, oh my gosh. I know, it's like when you
can
stop,
order it, by the way. I just got it.
Is it in? Oh, okay. So I haven't checked in the last few days. So
and I was worried that sometimes they limit us and how many we can get. So I stuck it in my cart to see if it would say, no, you've maxed it out. It's not. It's
okay, good. Well, I will be making sure that I have plenty because it's one of those things that once I stopped using it, I was like, wow, I will never stop using it again. Like I learned my lesson.
It's awesome. I love that booster to my skin.
So what would you say? What is priceless that you have gained by staying the course in your business? Because most people don't. I mean, what is it? Yeah. What is the statistic after 1 or 2 years? What is it? 2 or 3 years? Most people are, anybody that starts their own business within 2 or 3 years that they're not, it's some high statistic, 80%.
Yeah. So probably the most priceless thing is relationship with women. Mm-hmm. I think that we all, as we are guarded, as we're coming up as middle school, teenage, I have middle school daughter, a high school daughter, and a college daughter now. And they're kind of guarded right now because there's not so nice things as those young ladies are trying to figure out who they want to be. Sometimes they try on the not so nice people, and that makes the other people close up, put a little fence around themselves and just power through. And I think for me, it's feeling safe around other women, like that they have my best interest at heart. And most women do, even outside of Mary Kay. But that was my first glimpse of it's okay to come out.
Yes.
They're not in Mary Kay. That shine because someone needs you too. So
and it's so much harder for young women now. It was the amount of social media and it's so much harder. You and your husband have done a beautiful job with your children, and just hearing you talk about that the way you did, I just think, gosh, that kind of conversation, if I would have had that, there's a lot of things I would not have chosen. Early in my
things I would have done different. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I can't go back, so it's okay. But
okay, so maybe who I am, so I'm good.
Yeah, it made me who I am. Exactly. Yeah. And, it made me have to allow the Lord to heal parts of my heart too. Yes. And there's plenty more to go.
Yeah. we're just forgiving myself for things that I wouldn't choose now for teenage me.
Right.
Oh,
for sure. Okay. Last question. If you could tell Mary Kay Ash something in person, if you could sit down across the table from her, what would you tell her?
Oh my gosh. First of all, I know that I would get tears in my eyes. And probably all I could probably muster up would be to say thank you for just being wise and making a company that's duplicatable for every woman, no matter where she's at. Like, this is available for everyone. And having a product that, because we've got customers, people who just need the product, and we have people who really need an anchor. They need a business opportunity, especially right now. It's so expensive. Life.
Yeah. Fill your gas tank with Mary Kay.
Yes. I was like, oh my gosh. But just to make a business opportunity that is duplicatable for every woman, as well as a product that really just lifts your soul. I know that's weird because we tell people you're beautiful anyway, right. But when you feel beautiful, you stand taller, you are a kinder, gentler, more loving person for whatever reason. It just gives us wings. It makes us brave. And that's what I would say. Just be so grateful.
So grateful. I am too. I
didn't know.
Day.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Every day I
trying to save money.
Yeah, I know. I mean, when you think about where you started and the choices that now, I would have never known. I would have never. Yeah. And I think that if I would have known, I would have been too afraid to start because it would have seemed like no,
I would never be good at that. Yeah. I can't be where Stephanie is because I'm back here at the starting line. But remember that there's a whole marathon between where you are and that starting line. So
lots of experiences, lots of lessons. and lots of people that have poured into us. And that's what I want this to be, is an opportunity for consultants to watch and listen to somebody who has 2 decades of experience from a different perspective than mine, and has a little bit different life, though we probably have a lot in common at the same time. But you know, that's part of the cool things too, is to be able to learn from each other. And like, I've learned so much just listening to you today. I'm just like, oh, I can't wait to have those things to apply into my leadership as I move forward, and the training on the product. So thank you for that. That was really super cool too.
Awesome.
So ask questions in the comments. One thing I would love to have you all put in the comments is, first, of course, put who you are and tag your consultant in there if you're a guest. But I also want to know, what's your favorite mom hack? Like a little's mom hack or a teen mom hack. I just think that those are things that are so helpful, that we can really support each other. And then give Kelsie some love. Give her some love. Tell her, write in there what you learned, what was something that was unique to you, or like really hit your heart, or maybe a piece of information. So we always hope that you're just blessed by this time and can take this time and everything you learned, and then move forward and become better because of it. That's my goal. Yeah. So Kelsie, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And thank you for putting this together, because I learn when I talk to you too. So
it goes both ways, doesn't it? Oh, yeah, yes, for sure.
Yeah, it's going both directions. So thank you.
And I think it's important when we get asked questions, because it causes us to have you know what? I really need to think about that. And it causes us to, just have a better understanding of ourselves. The better self-awareness we have, the better leaders we are, moms we are, wives we are, all the things that we are. So thank you for your time. You're the best.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.